Big boy, give us your breakdown and prediction for Benavidez versus Zurdo this Saturday.
For one, I would say I just had a chance to sit with Benavidez. When he said these are two big Mexicans, I thought he was talking about two big Mexicans where he was saying like top of the game, which they are. But the size. And I think that this is going to be one of those fights, bro, where each person has something to prove and something to lose. And it's not going to be one of those hugging matches, we're dancing with each other. I think we're going to see something explosive where somebody's going to get their head knocked off. And if I had to go to anyone, if we're looking for a prediction, I'm Benavidez.
Yeah. Jumping in with Benavidez.
Yeah. Benavidez, that's my guy right there. He's a serious contender.
Do you think he's swerving him, Canelo?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just a blatant, straight-out swerve. I fancy it.
Yeah, definitely. The man's a boogeyman in one sense. He's like, who is out there to give him a good fight? I don't see anybody out there to give him a good fight. He's that good.
What about Bivol? If Bivol beat Canelo, that'd be an interesting fight, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Benavidez, Dimitri Bivol.
Benavidez and Bivol. I'm still picking Benavidez on that one.
It is quality, isn't it? Quality.
The main event is a great fight, man. Benavidez has always shown the world, the type of fighter he is. I think Zurdo Ramirez is a little more. Sometimes you question his dedication to the sport, his discipline. We've seen a few things that he's, kind of got in trouble, a few things. But so has Benavidez. So both are gonna go out there and do their work. Benavidez is just a dog in the ring. I think Zurdo's more of a technical fighter that has great skills. So.
And we gotta get your prediction really quick. Of course, Benavidez versus Zurdo Ramirez.
Benavidez.
Benavidez? Knockout or decision?
I would love to see a knockout, like who wouldn't, right? But I would love to see a knockout, especially him moving up. But either way, man, I just want to see him win.
Who do you have, Benavidez or?
Benavidez.
Why?
¿Por qué no?
That's kind of a good point.
Benavidez.
Okay.
What are we talking about?
Who do you got? Benavidez or Ramirez? Who do you got?
I'm taking Benavidez by unanimous decision.
Benavidez. I got Benavidez.
Why?
Because he's from Phoenix, Arizona. Etron Phoenix. Right here. Etron Phoenix. Woo!
Wait, knockout or decision?
I would say decision.
Okay.
I'll say eight
Punches and bunches.
Benavidez over here.
Benavidez.
Benavidez, yeah.
Benavidez.
What about you?
I say Benavidez knockout in 8.
Your final prediction for the fight.
Final prediction, Max. I'm going to say Benavidez by decision in a good, tough fight, but I think he's going to win something like 117, 111, 118, 110.
Sounds about right. Malik, what about you?
Wow, that was very good of you, Mike, right there. And I would call that very fair. I don't want to go too far with the scorecards and what I think, but I just believe it's going to be fight of the year, and I have Zurdo Ramirez winning by decision.
When the bigger guy wins, Malik, in every example I gave you, it's by knockout. It's always by it's Gomez knocking out Zarate, Sanchez knocking out Gomez, Hopkins knocking out Trinidad, McCallum knocking out Curry. I like Benavidez, just like Mike said, by a tough decision. I even like, Mike, your scores. It'll be wide but competitive.
When a fully energized, tattoo-free David Benavidez stepped up to the microphone looking healthier than he has in years, the entire narrative instantly shifted. Suddenly, we're staring at a massive 25-pound jump, unified cruiserweight titles on the line, and the unavoidable presence of Canelo Alvarez watching closely from ringside.
Why not David Benavidez? Why not the Mexican monster? And he's really got to obviously gain the Mexican fan base, but taking fights like this, taking risk like he's taking, and let's be honest, Canelo ducking him for as long as he's ducked him, he could potentially do that, especially when Canelo retires. Canelo's going to be at the fight tomorrow. By the time you guys see this, maybe it's fight day. So that dynamic's a little interesting, although I don't think David Benavidez can get back down to 168, now especially him moving to cruiserweight. But here's how I see this fight. I see this fight like I see a lot of David Benavidez fights, which is the fight being early rounds relatively close, right? Like relatively competitive fight up into the middle part of the fight. There will be a big X factor. What does David Benavidez look like at cruiserweight? I'm talking volume, I'm talking gas tank, I'm talking power. You have to question it because Benavidez is not a one-punch power puncher like that. He's not a one-punch KO artist. He is a volume puncher. He's a guy that puts punches together in bunches and throughout the fight wears you down and breaks you. Can he do that at cruiserweight? Can he do that to a bigger cruiserweight like Zurdo, who is a good boxer, who will also throw good volume?
The official weigh-in sent shockwaves through the boxing world. Benavidez came in at a comfortable 196.8 pounds, well under the 200-pound limit, and looked stronger, sharper, and more composed than ever before.
And WBA cruiserweight champion of the world, Humberto Zurdo Zurdo Ramirez weighs right in at the limit of 200 pounds. And now, ladies and gentlemen, with a record of 31 wins and no losses, 25 knockouts, the undefeated challenger, the current light heavyweight champion of the world, El Monstruo Mexicano, David Benavidez. David Benavidez weighs in at 196.8 pounds. 196.8.
For years, fans watched him drain himself to make 168, entering fights looking depleted before rehydrating overnight. But this time, there was no brutal weight cut, no hollow cheeks, no exhaustion. Instead, he looked relaxed, focused, and full of energy. Now analysts are worried, in a good way. Without the strain of cutting weight, we might be seeing a new version of the Mexican monster. A version with full stamina, natural strength, and relentless pressure. He's no longer forcing his body to shrink, he's finally fighting at his true weight. And that makes him extremely dangerous.
David, look, you're moving up 25 pounds in weight to fight this weekend. What makes you believe you are ready to make that jump at this point in your career?
You know, just because I'm ready for this. I've been calling the biggest and best fights because I know I'm 100% ready in my heart. You see the belts behind me. After this weekend, I'm going to have 2 more to my collection, and that's going to have a total of 8 world titles. So I'm just really happy to be here in this opportunity to be able to perform at the highest level in front of my fans. Cinco de Mayo weekend is going to be a party.
David, you know you're always welcome on the show, man. Thank you for being here. Let me ask you this. You're taking this fight. Is it because you wanted this fight in this cruiserweight and add the 2 belts to your collection, more so that? Or is it because of the amount of people that have been ducking you through the super middleweight division, light heavyweight, et cetera, et cetera? Which one was it more?
Yeah, that's exactly why I went up to the cruiserweight division, because I had all these people ducking me. I was supposed to fight Dimitri Bivol for all the world titles at 175. He couldn't get that fight, so now we're fighting Zurdo Ramirez. And, you know, like I said, I'm just trying to get the biggest and best fights and make the best fights happen for them.
But not everyone is convinced. Boxing legends Julio Cesar Chavez and Oscar De La Hoya have raised serious concerns. Jumping up 25 pounds in one move is a risky gamble that has ended many great careers. Chavez warned about a brutal reality. Benavidez may look explosive early, throwing high-volume combinations, but what happens when those punches land on a naturally bigger man like Gilberto Ramirez? Zurdo rehydrates into a true giant. The danger? Benavidez could burn through his gas tank trying to break down a fighter who simply won't budge.
Julio, how do you think David Benavidez is going to do having to move up 25 pounds? What do you think he's going to look like? How do you think he's going to look different?
¿Cómo pensás que Benavidez va a rendir teniendo que subir 25 libras para esta pelea?
Bueno, mira, lo que pasa es que Benavidez va a subir ahogado, ¿me entiendes? O sea, él no está batallando para el peso, ¿me entiendes? El zurdo sí está batallando para el peso. El zurdo sube mucho más pesado. Benavidez se va a ver muy bien en los primeros rounds, ¿me entiendes? Pero le puede costar trabajo ya al estarle pegando a Zurdo Ramírez y no hacerle daño, ¿me entiendes? O esperemos que sí, esperemos que no, vamos a ver, ¿no? Pero es una pelea táctica, ¿me entiendes? Donde si el zurdo mete presión, cuidado, porque si el zurdo viene bien preparado y tira golpes, va a meter una aprietos a Benavidez.
So basically, you know, Benavidez is a more natural weight than...
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I love it too much. I love it too much. I love it too much.
However, fighters who've actually shared the ring with Benavidez tell a completely different story. Eli Pavlik, a former middleweight champion, has sparred him and he's not buying the upset narrative at all. Pavlik called him a monster and predicted a dominant win. In his view, Ramirez simply doesn't have the athletic ability to keep up. He can't outbox Benavidez, and he definitely can't match his pace.
That will elevate him certainly into that tier as well. So
I've watched many
I'm excited.
Benavidez fights.
I know
I've watched
Oscar De La
many.
Hoya's excited. The
Zurdo
fight fans
Ramirez
are excited. And like I mentioned,
Benavidez throws a lot of punches.
Fantastic fight card for you.
Throw everything with
and it all
power.
goes down from T-Mobile
doesn't really have a
Arena
good
May
chin.
2nd this Saturday. Another quick run through of
Zurdo, on the other
what we have
hand, takes
going
his
on
time.
with the fight
He's
week.
very
We have a
calculated.
press conference
Every
tomorrow
punch he throws
on the Premier Boxing
hard. It's got
Channel
bad
and YouTube
intention.
page.
All
It all
it
starts
takes
3:30 p.m. Eastern
is
Time,
one
12:30
exchange
local
when
time.
Benavidez is throwing
Then tomorrow
punches and
evening,
punches.
opening bell,
All it
single
takes is
round
one.
special feature.
That's all it
featuring
takes.
who
And it
we
can
just
change
saw
the fight.
today,
So
Oscar De La Hoya
I'm gonna
and
go with
Julio
Benavidez.
Cesar.
What do you think? Does Benavidez dominate at cruiserweight, or is this a dangerous gamble? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an upload. And as always, share your thoughts below. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.
I know that David Benavidez is going to have a fight coming up in May. I know that you know him very well since he was a kid. You know, he always speaks highly of being able to have the opportunity to work with you. So he speaks very highly of that. He's going to be fighting Zurdo Ramirez. I mean, how do you see that fight playing out?
Listen, I'm not being biased. I love Benavidez. But he's just a monster, man. Like at that weight right now, I see it hard for him to lose. You know, I think you got great fighters in and around that weight class, like Bivol still and Beterbiev. But I think Benavidez right now is the real deal. Zurdo, I just can't see anything that Zurdo could do to beat Benavidez. I can't see him outworking him. I can't see him outboxing him. You know, I just think David Benavidez wins that fight.
In a brutally honest moment, Pavlik revealed the only thing on the planet that can actually hurt David Benavidez is himself. If he...
You consider David Benavidez a Mexican fighter?
¿Consideras a David Benavidez un boxeador mexicano considerando toda la controversia que hay sobre ese tema?
Qué buena pregunta me hiciste, ¿verdad? No, mira, Benavidez, con todo respeto, pues él es México norteamericano, ¿me entiendes? Habla español, efectivamente, pero en México no es conocido, en México no lo conoce nadie, ¿me entiendes? O sea, con todo respeto, o sea, lo conoce la gente de boxeo, ¿me entiendes? Pero así que tú digas que la gente lo conoce Benavidez, pues no, la verdad, yo lo considero norteamericano, pero sí, pero se supone que él tiene raíces mexicanas, habla español, ¿me entiendes? Y ojalá y se gane el cariño y el afecto de todos los mexicanos.